I think beginner, for anyone to learn something new, they have to just repeat it, just over and over and over
100%.
and over and over and over and over again. And every time they do it, um, it's like you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be, right? You just have to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And then with that comes much more of a fine tune, right? And then, with feedback, right? But you can't give feedback every single time because that's just
No,
too much. You're just overwhelming. So I think with repetition, so what I'm saying is like with repetition, again, it almost you might just have to do that same kind of tactile cue each time, that same
yes.
tapping, that same thing every time, every time, every time. If you're using like a push or a pull, um, I would maybe even try having them engage the opposite, just like you said,
Yes.
like you push back into it. So if you're wanting someone to sort of rotate more to the left, their trunk, their spine, get them to kind of maybe initially kind of engage
Hmm.
rotating to your right, and then you can say, okay, now hold that type of hold that bracing that you have as you do turn to the right and see if you could now turn to the left with that. So you're helping them to not only engage just a sort of a unilateral muscle groups to go one way, but now you're helping them with bracing, you're helping them with some co-contraction. Um, so it's like you don't necessarily have to, if I want to turn to the left, you don't have to say, okay, go ahead, push
Yes.
into my hand to the left.
Yes.
You might want to go the other way, right? And again, that's not like global. It might work for some people, it might not work for others. But I really like that in my own kind of like treating. Sometimes it helps to get the person to really focus on the opposite movement, and that somehow triggers a little bit more of an ease into that movement, right?
Especially if there's
So
fear there,
yeah, totally.
would be the first thing
Um,
I would think about.